So the next category of machine learning is the unsupervised learning. So unsupervised. So from the term itself, we can easily identify that there will be no supervision. So the data given to the machine is not labeled. Whereas in supervised learning, we have seen that the input data is clearly labeled about what the data is about. So we are knowing initially itself what the data is about, but here we are not going to label what that data is about, and so there is no supervision provided here. Then how come the machine learns perfectly about what the data is? That learning happens through identifying patterns and giving the response. So what the machine does is it is going to build a model based upon the patterns it is going to identify, and it is going to divide the data, incoming data, into different groups or clusters based upon the similarity that is present in the characteristics of that data. So for example, if we take an image which is clustered into different fishes and birds together, if suppose the image is having different fishes and different birds together without any labels, that which is a fish and which is a bird, we don't know in advance. So in this case, the machine, it will identify based upon the patterns, it will group the images present in that picture into different categories or based upon similarities of the characteristics present in the image. So unsupervised learning, it is further classified into clustering and association. So in terms of clustering, we are dividing the objects, as we have seen before, we are dividing the objects into different clusters. Clusters are nothing but some groups. So based upon the groups, we are dividing the input data into different groups based upon the similarity that is present in the characteristics of the picture or the image. Okay. So here best example is which customer made similar product purchase. So if suppose this you might have seen in online shopping, that is some recommendations will be directed to you based upon the previous purchase that you have made. So one best example, that is the customer, what are the products that is purchased by the customer, it is grouped together. So based upon that, we can make some promotions for the products. So this is what the clustering is used for. So another one example is the telecom company. If suppose let us take one example of a telecom company, it may be for assumption we can consider that it is an Airtel company. So Airtel is going to build some plans. It is going to give some plans based upon the usage of internet and call duration. So it's going to observe its users. It is going to cluster its users into two different categories. One is based upon more amount of call duration and more amount of internet usage. So if it clusters peoples into these two groups, it can easily identify who are all the people who are very much interested in making calls, and who are all the people who are using their internet more than making calls. So based upon this, it can easily target for which group it can have which plans, or it can give which plans or some boostings. This can be done with the help of this clustering process. And next one is association. So association is to discover relationship among variables of large data set. So this best example for this is market basket analysis. Suppose if you are going for purchase to a supermarket, and if you are going to buy let us consider that the customer A and customer B. Customer A is buying set of products such as milk, bread and biscuit, and customer B is buying products as milk, bread and butter. So from these purchases itself, we can easily find out that obviously the third person who is going to buy milk will also buy bread. So one or the other way, the associations, that is how one data is interrelated with the other. So based upon this, we can easily make a relationship between these data. So this is the method that is used for market basket analysis. So this is also comes under what? Unsupervised learning. We are going to make a relationship based upon the pattern of purchase.